Value Proposition by the Fitness Business Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Pellegrino. The value proposition was created specifically for industry suppliers to showcase the value that they bring to health club owners and operators beyond their product or service. This month, we are celebrating 1 year of the value proposition. It has been the most amazing journey made possible by our talented guests for the past 12 months and you, our FBP family. From the very bottom of my heart, thank you so much for tuning in each month. On today's episode, I speak with one guest from each of the 12 past episodes to find out what's new with their companies. We talk new and improved products, and each guest shares a piece of advice on how to win in the market in 2021 and beyond. Buckle up, it's going to be an amazing ride. I cannot wait to see where the next year takes us. Joining us first is Mr. Eddie Talk, CEO of Rex Roundtables. Eddie, welcome back to the value proposition.
Thanks, Sarah. I'm really happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now, Eddie, you've been a guest on the value proposition twice now. So I am so excited to chat with you again today and learn what's going on with Rex. So tell us, Eddie, are there any new roundtables that have launched since we last spoke or anything new we need to be updated on?
Well, thanks, Sarah, for asking. Yes, actually, we've grown again. We just recently have added another new roundtable, and we've started this year. It's our second Rex roundtable for the industry partners, the supplier vendors part of the industry. And it's going amazingly great. We have one roundtable with 16 companies in it, another roundtable with 10 companies. So we're looking for 2 to 3 more companies to join that. The value they're getting out of it is exceeding my expectations, which I'm amazed and I'm thrilled at. They're amazing, great people sharing, helping each other out. Just recently, they're talking about the preparation plans for IHRSA and how they can help and support the clubs even more than they have in the past, and really they have a better, deeper understanding of creating a true partnership with all the club operators and owners. So it's pretty cool.
I love that. As a supplier-focused podcast, I am a little biased to that roundtable, to both of those.
Yeah, it's great bunch of people.
That's awesome. Awesome. What are some new fitness trends that you are hearing discussed amongst the roundtables? Can you give us some insight into maybe one area that listeners should be keeping their eye on moving forward?
Sure. Well, here's the interesting thing. Everybody keeps talking about what's the percentage of revenue compared to pre-COVID. They're at 60%, 70, 80%. Many of our Rex members are at 80%. But that could be misleading. So we want you to go back and look at what's your profit and what's your EBITDA numbers. What's your true percentage? Now, the good news is most of the Rex members, thanks to all the conversations they've had with each other and with us, have done a great job of managing expenses early on. And so they're coming back at pre-COVID revenues, which are healthy, but their expenses are much lower. So the profit margins are in there. The secret is don't focus on getting 80, 90% pre-COVID if you haven't done a good job on expenses. So you need to do both. And do both, realizing that we all have less staff doing 3 times the work in there. We know that, we're spending, you need to continue to spend good marketing money. Don't hold back on your marketing money. And you need to reevaluate and say, what does my consumer want that's in my marketplace? How do I best fulfill their needs? They need to be able to join online. If they can't join online, whether you're $10 or $110 a month, you're losing sales. So that's one little portion of it that we're seeing.
That's awesome. Great recommendation, Eddie. Thank you so much. And what is one recommendation that you would make to any health club owner or operator right now about what to focus on in their business and or reevaluate in their business in order to win in 2021 and beyond?
Don't go back to the old ways. The 2019, 2018 way of doing business has changed. You're going to keep some of the core values and some of the core things that you do to run your business successfully and have done, but you have to have an open mind to change. And the only thing guaranteed in life is change. Only thing guaranteed. And if you have an open mind to that, and you have an open mind from not trying to claim to be the smartest person in the room, but be willing to listen to others and other ideas. And that's really what the roundtables is all about, is helping each other out and having an open mind to learning. When you can have that as part of who you are as a business person, you're going to be much more successful. The best entrepreneurs we have struggled and then came back, and a lot of their credit they will give to not just to Rex, but to their fellow Rex Roundtable members, and getting them to look at different ideas and sometimes not make a decision that they were going to make. Sometimes the best decision is no, don't do that. But really, it's having that open mind to change and look for other people to help you get to where you want to go. There's nobody out there as a professional athlete that doesn't have a professional coach, whether it be a strength coach, a flexibility coach, a mental psychology, sports psychology coach. Even the best have it. The best athletes all have that.
That's so good. Well, you all heard it here first. Do not be scared of change. Embrace it. And the old ways are not necessarily the best ways. Right, Eddie?
Well, thanks, Sarah. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being so open and willing to share with FBP family. If you enjoyed listening to Eddie today, you can listen back to Fitness Business Podcast episode 298, The Value Proposition for Peer Networking, and Fitness Business Podcast episode 354, The Value Proposition for Reimagining Industry Partnerships. Thanks so much, Eddie.
Thanks. Have a great day.
All right, FBP family. Next up on our special 1-year anniversary episode of The Value Proposition is Craig Bradley, CRO and Executive Vice President of Sales and Marketing for PowerPlate. Craig, welcome to The Value Proposition.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, Craig, I spoke with your team at PowerPlate back in August of 2020. We learned about the vibration technology behind PowerPlate, your targeted vibration products, the mobile app, and the education component. So Craig, I would love to hear from you about any new product or company updates since last year.
Okay, well, Sarah, nice to see you. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
It's obviously been a crazy 12 months or so, not only in our industry, but I guess for the entire nation. Specifically with regards to changes within PowerPlate. Just a couple of weeks ago, we brought in a new ambassador and investor in Mark Wahlberg. Mark, obviously a household name, affords us the opportunity to, I think, broaden our scope and awareness across his followers and really become increasingly consumer focused. I guess for the longest time, PowerPlate was prosumer and commercial orientated, and really I guess it's pretty fortuitous that in 2019 we brought out some new consumer products, and obviously during COVID that just accelerated. Now I think we'll pivot back as that proverbial balance rebalances as commercial entities reopen, and hopefully we go through COVID. We just launched 2 months ago the new PowerPlate Mini Plus, cute little handheld about the size of your phone. So
wow,
super convenient, and that's the little brother of the Pulse, which is the bigger percussive guns.
that is so fascinating. And I love with the addition of Mark Wahlberg, right? I love that, when we originally talked, that it was brought up that you see celebrities training on your product and you can use it too. You can go to your club or order one or buy one. So that's really neat to hear that partnership. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, Craig, around PowerPlate, I love the conversation with it being a health solution above just a fitness concept, right?
Yeah.
So how can club owners partner with PowerPlate to put more of a health focus in their health clubs?
Well, look, we know that from a direct consumer perspective, almost 1/5 of the folks that buy PowerPlate are age 70 years and older. Now, as a health solution, as a solution where consumers are looking for better stability, proprioception, balance, bone density, PowerPlate offers something that I think other products perhaps don't offer so easily, certainly for the active aging consumer. Whether you're 18 or 80, we sell products to, as I say, the active aging community and also the professional athlete. So it's a solution for everyone. If you can move, essentially you can use a PowerPlate. It's incredibly intuitive. Anything you do on the ground, you can do on a plate. A squat, a lunge, a plank, a crunch, anything you can perform on the ground, just perform it on a plate to amplify the workout. So from a health focus, whether it's medically motivated to improve, as I say, proprioceptional balance, if they're looking for amplification of a strength workout, flexibility, whatever it may do, it just makes your program, your workout more effective.
That's so fascinating. Thank you for those numbers and figures. That's really helpful. And, Craig, in your opinion, what are the ways in which health club operators can use PowerPlate to generate ancillary revenue?
Obviously, we see lots of clubs that are offering PowerPlate in a personal training context. In a small group or kind of group training dynamic, as I said before, the member of the club can do everything that they choose on one piece of kit. It offers fantastic coaching opportunities because all functional training can be performed on the plate. So there's great coaching application. And then obviously we work with a lot of clubs in terms of offering our what we call TVPs, targeted variation products. These things, this little guy here and the thing that's over my shoulder there, the Pulse. And many clubs are offering a dropship solution or selling them through their pro shop. And that's a very easy way in which to create secondary income.
Especially that little one, that'd fit in your purse, right? My purse.
Well, my purse as well. Maybe not.
That's awesome. Now, Craig, one of my biggest beliefs, I'm sure you agree, is that suppliers are like fitness industry consultants, right? They're everywhere. They see everything. They work with so many types of clients and learn so much about the industry as a whole. So with that being said, what is one recommendation you would make to any health club owner or operator now about what to focus on in their business or reevaluate in their business in order to win in 2021 and beyond?
2021 and beyond, the message will be the same. I think club operators in the business of engaging or motivating people, clients, members. That's why people come to clubs. That's why they'll go through the effort of getting in their car, driving across town, coming to the club. They feel more engaged to the club opposed to doing the exercise at home. If people are buying at-home fitness solutions, whether it's PowerPlate or whatever it may be, they're going to be, I think, just as intrigued to go to their gym and complement the two options, whether it's in person at the facility or at home on their device at home. So the key, I think, is when you get people coming into your facilities, make sure you're offering the maximum level of engagement and motivation. Know everybody's name, know what they want, know what class they're going to, spend time with people. That's got to be the key. Kill them with kindness and they'll keep coming back.
Such great advice. Thank you so much, Craig, for joining us for the anniversary episode of The Value Proposition. We have fun and exciting stuff from PowerPlate, new products, new partnerships with celebrities. So you guys have a lot going on, and I so thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Sarah.
Of course. And Fitness Business Podcast family, if you've enjoyed what you heard from Craig today, please download the entire episode with the PowerPlate team anywhere you listen to your podcasts. Fitness Business Podcast episode 306, The Value Proposition for Health Technology and Health Clubs. Next up, I'd like to welcome Dan Kennedy, VP of Global Sales at HydroMassage, back to The Value Proposition. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you. It's awesome to be here with you, Sarah.
Oh, awesome. Now, for our listeners out there, Dan and his team of client partners were featured on the September 2020 Value Proposition. And we spoke about all things product, recovery, and revenue. That about sums it up, does it not, Dan?
That it does. We did cover a lot. It was awesome.
Awesome. Now, your episode goes down in history for me as the one with the absolute best customer testimonials. Don Murphy specifically mentioned the investment versus the rate of return, and it was just a no-brainer. So how often do you hear stories like that, and how does that make you feel as a steward of HydroMassage?
We do. It's actually become more common now, and I wish that we could tape everybody when they say those type of things, because that was priceless. When Don said that, it was like, wow, you just nailed it. Thank you very much. But it is very common that we hear those stories, maybe differently, but it's really something that we're starting to hear more and more of, and we have to do a better job as a company to kind of put that in a bottle and kind of share that when we need to, right? So that was awesome, no doubt.
Great to hear. It makes your job fun, right?
It does, definitely.
Awesome. Now, Dan, are you seeing any new ways to use HydroMassage to promote wellness and recovery, or are new customers bringing this into their clubs now, maybe just after the past stressful year we've all had, as a way to just recover and relax in the club?
Yeah, it's been it's twofold, right? One, recovery right now is just huge, right? Members are coming into clubs and asking about recovery and not really knowing about recovery, right? But they think they do. They've heard it, right? So it's almost like working the core back in the day. People used to say, I want to work the core, but if you asked them where it was, they didn't know where it was, right? It's that way with recovery right now. Members are asking for it. So now you have to have something for it. That's one of the things. But the other thing is mental wellness. So we've seen that really, it's not quite as big as recovery right now, but it's pretty darn close. And that's where we've really fit in really well along with recovery. You get a massage and HydroMassage, you're feeling pretty darn good, right?
Yeah.
So mentally, you're in a good space.
I love
so that's
that.
really
You
what
can
we've
use
seen.
it as a retreat in your facility.
Absolutely.
I like that. Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, Dan, are there any new ways to be using HydroMassage to drive ancillary revenue?
Yeah, I mean, one of the other things that we've really seen a spike in is going outside of your clubs and using Hydro as the tool. So right now, people outside, they may not know if they want to join a club, right? Or maybe they did before and they've taken a break. Well, giving free HydroMassage outside of your club and marketing that has really, we've seen a spike in not only HydroMassage usage, but joining health clubs, because they get into your health club and all of a sudden they're like, wow, this isn't as intimidating as I thought, or this is actually pretty cool. They're keeping it really clean and I love Hydro. Well, what are you out? You're out maybe a 10-minute massage from Hydro that was free. That's it, right? So we've seen that really work well right now, and we're promoting that as much as we can.
That's awesome. That's a great recommendation. Now, it is my theory that suppliers, vendors are the best consultants in the industry. I'm sure you would agree with that statement.
Yeah,
so with everything you see out there, Dan, what is one recommendation that you would make to any health club owner or operator now about what to focus on in their business or reevaluate in their business in order to win in 2021 and beyond?
That's a great question, Sarah. It really is. And part of it will be a small plug for Hydro, because we do fit well in today's environment, right? One is recovery. You got to do it now. Don't wait. You're missing out on money made for your club, and more importantly, for the mental wellness side, as far as bringing people in and making them happy, retaining them, right? Because the happier they are, the more they're going to stay with you. That being said, it's a lot easier to implement a recovery area than some people think. Whether you bring cryotherapy in, I mean, they've made some really good headroads, right? Whether it's electric cryo versus the nitrogen, right? Nitrogen cryo got a bad rap there for a little bit, but electric cryo is really good. Float pods, red light therapy, the sauna, compression. It's really, really easy to implement, and we help you do that. And that's one of the things that Hydro reps are known for out there, is being a consultant. It's not just about selling HydroMassage. We actually will help you with your cryo. We'll help you, get the best compression, percussion, whatever the product is. We'll walk you through it in the space that you have, so you can benefit from it now, not in the future, right? You want to take advantage. If you only have 50% of your membership base right now, let's maximize the return on investment on that, right? So we'll help you do that with whatever space you have, and be the best that you can be with that space. So that's what I would say.
I love that. That's so important, Dan. It's, love them up. If you have 50% of them, treat them very, very well, and they'll never leave you, right?
Absolutely. No doubt about that.
Awesome. Well, Dan, thank you so much for joining me for our anniversary episode. FBP family out there, if you want to hear the full episode with Dan and his client partners, you can listen to Fitness Business Podcast episode 311, The Value Proposition for Promoting Recovery in Your Health Clubs. Joining us next is Rickard Blomberg, president of Eleiko. Rickard, welcome back to the Value Proposition.
Thank you very much, Sarah. It's great to be here and great to catch up and be back on the show.
Absolutely. Now, Rickard, your episode of the Value Prop aired back in October of 2020, so it's been a minute since we spoke. But when we did, we spoke about the history of your company, which was so cool, by the way, the quality of your products, and the education that supports your client partners. So I would love for you to share with us what is new with Eleiko since we last spoke.
Yeah, great. No, I mean, it's definitely been an interesting year here. It's been a lot of challenges, I guess, for a lot of gym owners out there. For us, we had I would say we've been very fortunate to be able to continue to work with home gym customers. You definitely see a trend towards home gym training, and we've been developing products for them and making sure that we support those people in the best way, while at the same time being very, we've been listening a lot and supporting our consumer customers and commercial gym customers in the best way, because we wanted to be there throughout this challenging period. And it's really nice now to see that everything is starting to open up all across the world. I mean, we see it in Europe, we see it in the US, and gyms are coming back and opening up. So it's exciting to see that. For us, we have just recently made a move in the United States with our office moving down from Chicago to Austin, Texas.
Awesome.
Which has been a very exciting move. We've been able to set up a much bigger logistics center, which allows us to service our customers in a much better way. We have a beautiful showroom set up, which we are about to finish up, and we look forward to welcoming customers into us, where they can actually come in and touch and feel our products and experience our great barbells and all the other products that we have. So if anybody are in the Austin area, feel free to let us know, and we'll be happy to invite you to our new office there.
Oh, that is such great news. They can do the dumbbell test for real, right?
Yes, absolutely. We drop it from the roof. Sure.
Drop it from the roof.
Yes.
I love that. I'm very curious to ask you this. I'm curious how the shift to outdoor fitness has affected your business, if at all. Have you guys considered making products that are a bit more weather resistant? Is that even a thing?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we've seen a lot of interest for that. And I think, you can both look at it in a short-term perspective and a long-term perspective. And I think in the short term, people wanted to be able to, gyms wanted to be able to offer outdoor training. And in the long-term perspective, I also think that, this is a trend that is there to stay. I think people like to train outdoors and they like to be outside. And I also think that, gyms probably might also have to plan for the future as well. You don't know if it's something like, what we gone through in the past year. You never know if this will happen again. So people need to be ready for what can happen. So I think there's a long-term perspective on here as well. So we actually have our entire line of racks and rigs available in a galvanized version. So you can actually have a complete outdoor training facility set up with galvanized version that is weather resistant, weatherproof, it's lasts in sunshine, it lasts in during the winter in cold weather. So it's incredibly durable, and it really allows people to set up an outdoor strength training area. So you can both have it freestanding, or it attaches to a pretty much a standard container unit as well. And it's actually, we have a quite unique setup here where you can attach it to an existing container without modifying it. So if you have a container, a 10-foot, 20-foot container, you can use that and store equipment in there that you might want to take out and put back in when during the nighttime. Or we can supply the complete solution as well. So we definitely seen that picking up.
That's so
around
cool.
The world.
Oh, I love to hear that. That's awesome. That's an awesome update, Rickard. Thank you. Now, what is one recommendation that you take the past year, right? Take where we are right now. What is one recommendation that you would make to any health club owner or operator now about what to focus on in their business or reevaluate in their business in order to win in 2021 and beyond?
Good question, and I think that my answer to that would be that I think this is a time when it has never been more important to have conversations with your clients or your members, to have true conversations and ask them how they are feeling about coming back to training in person, to understand what are they looking for, what are they have they changed to training at home? Do they want to come back? Why would they want to come back? How can you make them feel safe and secure and all those things? To really have genuine conversations with members, being very, out in the gym, catching people when they come in, when they come out, while they're, you don't want to interrupt them while they're training, obviously, but finding time to have conversations and really ask questions. Be very, very, because I think we all know that everybody have different reactions to what happened in the past year, and there are so many questions. I don't think there's a lot of answers really on like how to actually really get members back and making them feel safe and secure and all those things, and also making sure that they get motivated and come back. So having genuine conversations and ask questions is more important now than ever.
That is such a great recommendation, Rickard. And I think it's a good reminder too, because there are states that have been open for 6 months, 8 months now, right? And then there's states that have been open for just a handful. So I just think it's important. It's an important reminder to keep that line of communication open always, right? To keep talking to them. Hey, you've been back for 2 months now. How is it going, right? That's awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rickard, for your insights today, for the updates. We're so excited for you and the team at Eleiko. To our FBP family, if you missed Eleiko's episode of The Value Proposition, you can go back and download Fitness Business Podcast, episode 318, The Value Proposition for Raising the Bar with Eleiko. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now to hear from our friends at Trainerize, Paula Bartis, Marketing Director, is going to walk us through what's been going on with Trainerize since November of 2020. Paula, welcome back to The Value Proposition.
Hi, Sarah. Glad to be back. Very excited to share what we've been up to.
Yay! Welcome back. Now, Paula, what I loved most about your episode was learning how there is literally a Trainerize solution for everyone. So have any new releases or product updates happened since we last spoke?
Yes. And to be honest, product is such a key factor of how we see our company growing. We have probably the roadmap is planned for up to 2 years from now, but we're super flexible and always kind of reshifting things. And in monthly strategy meetings, we're always kind of thinking, okay, should this come first? Should we still do this? So always focusing on product. As a matter of fact, we're working on releasing an incredible, I'm saying incredible because we're partnering with our friends at ABC. We were acquired by ABC Fitness in September, but we're still kind of operating as a separate unit. However, we're joining forces for this. So we're going to be releasing an incredible one app experience for fitness gyms to kind of allow that one app kind of experience for their members, where they can access all the services like book, buy, and basically also work out in one single app. This is major news for members too, because they don't need to toggle between multiple different apps when going to the gym. So you used to use one app for check-in, or maybe scan your barcode, and then one app to book a class, or maybe you booked it on the website, and then one app when you wanted to track your workouts. Well, that's gone. So we're trying to introduce a new way of both club operators and members to kind of rethink how they use apps in their business. This is slated for late summer, so super excited to launch it. And I think it's one of the most exciting launches we had in the studio kind of boutique space, because it kind of allows that kind of joint experience where the member can kind of live in a way either in the gym or outside of the gym, with kind of be connected with one single app to that particular business. And yeah, it's awesome for trainers too, just because, there were like smaller personal trainers who were using multiple apps to run their business. Like they had Trainerize, but they also had something to book appointments such as Calendly or Acuity. Well, now they can actually book it in Trainerize and use just one app. And yeah, it's going to be super affordable and kind of a cost-friendly solution as well. And yeah, one more thing on the product side, we've also launched the brand new Apple Watch app. So this basically levels the playing field and allows clubs and gyms to also offer that same kind of premium experience to members. So the app is amazing. It can actually, like I want to say, compared to Nike Training Plus, which, you start on the Apple Watch and it says you need to start your workout on your phone, where with Trainerize, we actually made it possible so you can actually be independent, so phone free. A very cool experience, and I think it provides a new level of connection between the members, the clients, obviously, and then the personal trainers and the businesses. And yeah, with the watch, you can basically, trainers can see everything, right? So they can customize the coaching programs the way they want and deliver a better experience and better results to members. So I would say these are the two main updates that we have on the product side.
Oh my goodness, y'all have been busy.
There's also others, but they're secret at this point.
The next updated show.
Yeah, exactly. I'm excited for that.
What is one piece of advice that you would give to marketing managers in health clubs right now? Where should their focus be?
I would say, and if I were in that position, we are marketing to fitness businesses, obviously. But I think the biggest thing that I'm seeing is like basically how community can kind of help you actually turn your business in a way back to life. And focusing on building community, both in person and online, should probably be at the core of all your efforts. I think people, because of lockdowns and so many other, like, I don't know, not seeing your friends, your family, your gym buddies, I think that just causes everyone kind of craving that personal and physical in-person contact, I guess. So run the workout of the days, get outside, do challenges, speed up those loyalty programs that you had, prizes, all that stuff. I think it's just about kind of bringing people together and fueling that community spirit. And that, even if you build it inside the gym, I think with an app such as, for example, ours, it can be also done online. So you can do, for example, a group challenge that you start in person, but then people can connect, even if they, for example, go for a hike in the weekend and so on. So they can still track that activity in a fun way.
I love that. That is so cool. And I like the piece of, hey, if you did a hike, let us know that. We want to know. Yes. That's really fun and engaging, right? So that's a great piece of advice there. And, lastly, Paula, this I think I have a feeling we're going to continue what you did.
Yeah.
But, take the marketing hat off for a second. Let's say you're a club owner right now, okay? What is one recommendation you would make to any health club owner or operator right now to focus on in their business or reevaluate in their business in order to win in 2021 and beyond?
Yes, it's more around focusing on the systems they built and the kind of the flows, the online systems, the website, the online membership. So keeping these as an additional revenue stream, I think, can only do good in one's business. And it's basically maybe an area of the business that you didn't even have prior to the pandemic. So I think a lot of them are realizing like there's like a dual component to running a business from a financial point of view. So whether it's like my in-person thing and this is how you can run that, but then it's also the online thing that I feel like has so much potential to just scale it up. You basically are not location constrained. So through marketing, social media, I think just investing in that and keep promoting the hybrid options for various reasons. I think people will still, like in the beginning, obviously crave the physical contact and go back in the gym. But I think as everything kind of stabilizes, the hybrid options will still remain strong for everyone wanting a choice.
That is such a fantastic point. I think that, I think it's important for owners to not just be like, okay, we don't need online anything right now. Like, no, we learned these lessons and we needed as an industry to be here. We needed to have online join. We needed to have online PT package purchase, right? Like
yes,
keep those online classes, keep those offerings and scale it up. So that is a fantastic recommendation, Paula. Thank you so much for all your amazing insights.
Thank you, Sarah. It was great being on the show again, and happy anniversary.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. And to our FVP family, if you are wanting to hear the full value proposition episode with Trainerize, you can download Fitness Business Podcast episode 325, The Value Proposition for Making Fitness Accessible. Joining us next is Adam Zaitsev, Intelivideo President and CEO. Adam, welcome back to The Value Proposition.
Thanks, Sarah. Good to be here. It's been a while. And by the way, happy birthday. And people don't know, but we're recording this on your birthday. So I just had to get that out there. Hope you have a good day.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm excited to have you back here. You and your team joined me in December of 2020. So good, six months ago, right? Yeah, exactly. So tell us what is new with Intelivideo since we last spoke.
Yeah, no, it's been an exciting 6 or 7 months. And for us, it's been all about kind of growth of our partnerships, growth of our customers. We have landed so many new customers who come on board to our platform. And it's been exciting. It's not just in this country here in the US, it's been customers in Europe and in Singapore and Asia Pacific markets. So we've seen some tremendous growth over the last 6 months in terms of new customers coming on board. We've seen our existing customers continue to grow organically on their platform. And we've been really working closely with them just to build out their business models and grow their hybrid digital offering. So it's been an exciting 6 months. We've added some new team members, and we've seen our company grow not just in revenues and customers, but with team members as well, which has been really exciting for us.
That's so great to hear. Congratulations to you all. That's really awesome.
Thank you.
Now, what I loved most about your original show back in December was how genuinely helpful it was, right? Remember that part Shannon was walking us through step by step how to bring digital fitness into your club. And it was just so helpful. So in your opinion, what have you seen as clubs have mostly opened back up? Are most clients maintaining an on-demand or digital fitness options?
They have, and it's interesting. For us, we have basically seen the definition of commercial fitness change many times in the last 18 months because of the pandemic. And I think the final thing that we've seen is that it has become that hybrid model like we've talked about many times, and that consumer behavior pattern has changed. So they're not only they're keeping their on-demand and their live streaming and their digital platforms, and they're monetizing them, which is really important. Don't just give it away, monetize it. This is not a cost, it's a cost of goods, but they're also growing their content strategy to be more complementary. Now that we're back open, now that we're all getting vaccinated, now that we're going to be here, now that this hybrid economy is here to stay in restaurant and retail and grocery and fitness, what can I do to keep my members on the platform engaged? So we're seeing a lot more complementary content, not just content to replace a gym workout, but recovery content, things like yoga and meditation and stretching and prenatal, postnatal content, which they don't really have in their clubs, but they can deliver at home, health and wellness content from a nutrition or mental wellness capacity. So it's been an interesting 6 or 7 months as we went from lockdown in many areas to reopening to making sure the digital platform becomes just an integral part of their in-club or out-of-club offering long-term.
I love the mention of complementary content. That is so huge. Awesome. So Adam, I'm excited to ask you this. I would consider online fitness and outdoor fitness new trends in the industry that we've seen this past year, right? So what trends are you seeing going forward that our FBP family should keep their eye on?
Yeah, I think a couple things. I mean, I wish I had the crystal ball. Otherwise, I'd be on the other side doing the interviewing. But for me, I think we're certainly going to see online fitness grow. I think outdoor fitness has just yet begun to fly. Like that's going to be an amazing growth next year. I think we're going to see this holistic approach to the fitness piece, the mental wellness piece, and the nutrition piece because of what happened the last year become more prominent in the discussion as it relates to both the operator in their club and out of their club. And I also think we're going to see digital technology over the next couple of years, whether it's my platform or other platform, it doesn't matter what platform, it doesn't have to be on demand. It could be any kind of technology. Now that they saw what it could do when people were out of the gym and home, I think they're going to use that to drive engagement more in the gym, right? So folks like MyZone has been known forever for driving engagement in the gym and heart rate tracking and that sense of community. So I think that is just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to see a lot more technology used to drive engagement in the gym above and beyond what's happening outside.
Fantastic. Absolutely great. All right. So what is one recommendation that you would make to any health club owner or operator to focus on right now in their business or reevaluate in their business in order to win in 2021 and beyond?
Yeah, I mean, for me, a couple things. I think first of all, because of what's happened, I think your engagement and retention strategy. Everyone has a retention playbook, I hope, inside their clubs. Nothing to do with digital or technology, just a retention playbook. You know, running clubs, you've got to have a sales playbook, you've got to have an operational playbook, you've got to have a retention playbook. So I would say with what's gone on and what's happened in this world, people want more high touch and want more personalization than ever right now. So I would look at your retention playbooks. How does that deal with personalization? How do you cater more to the needs of your members? And you can certainly do that with your in-person physical footprint. You can certainly do that by delivering a digital footprint that caters to that. But I would definitely say operators should be focused on retention, the personalization aspect, and the overall health and wellness ecosystem, because we do have the ear and the mind of our members. And so if they trust us with fitness, their fitness journey, they can trust us with other pieces of that. So being able to deliver that and personalize that, I think that'll be the key to retention, to longevity and lifetime value of members, and also actually helping them achieve their health outcomes that they want.
Fantastic recommendations, as always. Adam, thank you so much for your support of the Fitness Business Podcast. So FBP family, if you have missed Intelivideo's December episode and are still wanting some helpful tips on how to rock at digital fitness, download Fitness Business Podcast episode 330, The Value Proposition for Going Digital with Intelivideo. I'm so excited to welcome Guy Williams, Precor's Director of Global Networked Fitness Sales, back to the value proposition from all the way on the other side of the world. Welcome, Guy.
Oh, thank you so much, Sarah. Glad to be back.
Awesome. So, I have to ask this first. I'm a huge Peloton fan, and since we last spoke, Peloton officially purchased Precor. So how's it going? In your opinion, what does the future hold for both of these fantastic companies?
Well, the acquisition was finalized. The integration between the two companies is kicking off. It's a long process with two companies of, such different but similar backgrounds. And we're so excited to be part of the Peloton family. We have a saying, together we go farther as one. So it's a great company, and there's obviously a lot of enthusiasm around the resources and the brand presence that Peloton has. No specific announcements right now other than we're just excited to have their energy and resources to continue to grow Precor as well.
Awesome. I love to hear that. We would continue to wish you both so much success. Now, Guy, are there any networked product improvements, updates, anything we need to know from your world?
The biggest thing is we continue to grow the presence of the Preva network with all of our customers. Technology and connected solutions seem to be ever present, but having COVID come along really caused everybody to accelerate their digital presence. So the use of Preva Mobile, the use of connected consoles, and now with the addition of our AdvaGym relationship and the things that we can do to extend the relationship of the operator outside their four walls to the exercisers they're serving everywhere they go is really kind of fueled the entire process. So we're just excited to see customers continue to adopt those solutions.
That's great. Now, Guy, the theme of today's show is really how can your vendor and supplier partners help club owners and operators win, right? So
Sure.
You have so many client partners, you have such a unique seat with your digital focus. So what is one recommendation that you would make to any health club owner or operator now about what to focus on or reevaluate in their business in order to win in 2021 and beyond?
Well, I think it really ties back into what I was just saying, and that is figure out the best way for you to extend your brand to your community. We've seen so many operators that have done some great things during COVID to help the members of their community embrace wellness and a healthy lifestyle. I know operators that were running virtual classes, but then as things started to open up, doing outdoor programming, the numbers that existed pre-COVID are not going to be the same that are going to be here going forward. So you have to think of new ways to develop new relationships and add value to your members and your exercisers beyond what you were doing before. So just look to new solutions. Don't be afraid to try some things, but get out there and innovate.
I love it. Embrace the change.
For sure.
That's fantastic. Well, to our FBP family out there, if you have any Precor in your facility, even if you don't, if you want to know how their networked fitness solutions can enhance your member experience, you can go back and download Fitness Business Podcast episode 336, The Value Proposition for Networked Fitness with Precor. Up next, we have the man who wears many hats, Nick Hahn, VP of Product for ClubOS and ASF Payment Solutions. Nick, welcome back to the Value Proposition.
Thanks for having me back.
Of course. Now, you and I and the team at ASF and ClubOS spoke back in February. It's not too long ago, but it's been a few months. So I'm dying to hear what you and your team have been up to since. I'm seeing you guys travel to some trade shows again. So how's everything going?
It's been great. It's been really encouraging to be able to spend time with customers, getting feedback in person, being able to open up for traveling, and in really spending time walking in their shoes, which was something I really desperately missed during COVID.
That's a good point, especially with your role as VP of Product. That's kind of important for you to see how they're using it and get that good feedback. That's awesome. So speaking of product, tell us a little bit, any product updates for either company?
Yeah, so on the ASF side, our new analytics offering is in our closed beta, and we're really excited about it. Our customers are already starting to see a lot of great information, and they're using it to offer slightly different things slightly different membership offerings to their customers, trying to play around with different things. On the ClubOS side, we've got our next generation personal training follow-up that's being released. So we've had a personal training follow-up as part of ClubOS for 5 years now. But during COVID, we took the opportunity to evaluate the changes that have happened to the purchasing habits of people with personal training. So we've revamped it with additional statuses, and the workflow is a lot more in-depth and a lot more flexible. And it's not just about getting personal training customers, it's about retaining personal training customers.
That's the key, right? Get them and then keep them.
Yeah.
Well, they both sound so exciting. So thank you so much for sharing that information. And Nick, on your original show, a huge theme was getting members back to the club and attracting new ones and using software solutions to do that, right? So do you have any new recommendations for the FBP family on how to use software to still continue to do this?
Yeah, it's all about looking at the reporting and analytics of what works for your locations. With COVID, all the regions across the country have responded in different paths back. So there's no longer the ability to really have national recommendations that are going to make sense. I've seen in certain regions, there are interesting trends developing. For example, making a phone call to a prospect is actually more successful now than it was before COVID. There's a higher likelihood of actually getting a call, or getting a call to connect, which is like crazy because for the 2 years leading up to COVID, that number was declining on a quarterly basis. It has not been higher since 2018, the success rate. So looking at your data and see how you can apply it to your club to be successful going forward.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Now, what is one recommendation that you would make to any health club owner or operator about what to focus on right now in their business or reevaluate in their business in order to win in 2021 and beyond?
The biggest key that I've seen is that COVID was the great accelerator, and it is my view that that's going to continue. We used COVID as an opportunity as an industry to reevaluate what we were doing. Yeah. We now need to make sure we don't just sit on that reevaluation for the next 2, 3, 4 years. We need to continuously be reevaluating, even on a quarterly basis. Every quarter, we are recommending to our customers that you reevaluate your sales and marketing strategies. And you should be making some kind of change on a quarterly basis, not throwing away your entire playbook, but something should be different every quarter. You got to meet your members where they are, and where they are is going to be constantly evolving.
I love that. And it's important to not go back to old habits, right?
Of course, it's going to be tempting to,
Yep.
especially as things start returning to normal. You're going to want to go back to some of those old habits, and some of them are going to return, but it's a new hybrid world.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, that's a great recommendation. Thank you so much for joining us, Nick. If you are an owner or operator looking to see what the ASF and ClubOS teams can do for you, you can go back and download Fitness Business Podcast, episode 342, the value proposition for meeting members where they are with ASF and ClubOS. I would like to welcome back the lovely Joan Gebhardt, Director of National Sales with Creative Surfaces, to the value proposition. Joan, welcome back.
Thank you so much. It's nice to be back and speaking to you, Sarah, and all the fitness group. So, yes.
Awesome. You're so happy to have you. And Joan, I am assuming that how busy you are is a great indicator of how busy the industry is, the state of the industry, and how many new clubs are coming to the market. So how busy are you?
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up today, because I just did a report, and currently right now in the fitness industry alone, I have about 27 projects in the works.
Wow.
All across the country, all different models, all different brands, from remodels to new builds. So I think the whole industry in general is really anxious to get the clubs back up and opening and really creating a great environment for their members. So it's really exciting time.
How exciting. That is so good to hear.
Yeah.
Such good news. I love that. Now, on your episode that went live in March of 2021, we spoke to 4 lovely clients of yours: Dragon's Lair, Gold's Gym DC Metro, Fitness Factory, and Move Fitness. How are they all doing? I know some of them have had some grand openings, and what's going on?
They have. They're doing amazing. The Gold's Gym, I was just at the grand opening in DC a week ago, doing another full build out for them that's taking place right now. They have several remodels in the works. Move Fitness, we just did another remodel for them on the West Coast. Dragon's Lair's numbers are off the charts, with clients of celebrities to, obviously, the professional bodybuilders. And Fitness Factory, I'm working with them on 2 other very large projects in New York. So,
wow.
In addition to just the 4 guests that we had on the podcast, there's many other brands, the Vosses, the Chews, the EOS, all of those that everyone is really, I think, thriving right now and anxious to get their clubs open.
I love that. That's so awesome to hear. I'm glad they're all doing well. We wish them all the best. Joan, what project, I'm excited to ask you this, what project that you're working on, let's say in 2021, has had the most unique feature?
Well, one of the things that we have been incorporating, and obviously from where the clubs went to being able to stay open, of taking, your exercise outside, is I'm working on actually it's called Preserved Moss and Greenery, and creating wall spaces, planter box spaces, and that in the clubs to kind of bring the outside in. Nature, so to speak, but not having to maintenance it. So I'm actually doing that on an East Coast club right now, and an East Coast club now on a large wall, and then also on some planter boxes. So it's just trying to bring nature inside.
I love that. How cool. That's awesome. Very neat.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Joan, what is one recommendation that you would make to any health club owner or operator now about what to focus on in their business or reevaluate in their business in order to win in 2021 and beyond?
Well, first and foremost, the first thing is the chain supply. If they're looking to do any remodel or new build, is, it is the truth of sources have come, our timelines have expanded to, if you're thinking of something 6 months down the road, and at one time we think that that's a long gap, that is not a long gap in today's market, and just getting the chain supply. The other thing too is, and I this is not me educating the fitness industry, they're well aware, is creating that it's more than an hour workout of going to the gym. You know, more and more we're creating lounge spaces that the clubs are your community, they're your people. They're the people that you want to see and be with, nothing to do with your career, nothing to do with, you know, your family, just you as an individual. It's really trying to create that space of where it does become your community and a place that you want to hang out for more than just a workout. That is something that, you know, even in small box clubs that you're really trying to capitalize on. And that is something that I'm focusing more and more on, as well as more of the holistic recovery areas are just as equally as important as, you know, obviously, you know, the Peloton, the Precor, the weight equipment of what you can do on the recovery side and the holistic side. So that would be my suggestion.
I love the mention of the lounge area, Joan, because it's true. As more people maybe stay working from home, they may need to get out. They may bring their laptop and after their workout stay and grab a juice or grab food or coffee and sit and work. Yeah. So that's a really, really valuable point. Thank you so much for your valuable insight as always. So to our FBP family out there, if you are in the market for a remodel or in the process of opening a club, and you need a guide, please, please, please reach out to Joan and her team would be happy to help you transform your space. If you missed the original show back in March, don't worry, you can go back and download Fitness Business Podcast, episode 347, the value proposition for creating unique spaces with creative surfaces. Up next, we are welcoming Steven Steinberg, founder of Raw Athletics and Vapor Fresh, and one of the Fitness Business Podcast advertising partners, back to the value proposition. Hello, Steven.
Hey, Sarah. How are you? Congratulations on 1 year. That's awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being such a big part of this past year for the FBP family and the value proposition team here. So we're thrilled to have you back. And, you know, Steven, when we last spoke, it was all about the cleanliness of health clubs and the power of your products, right? So let's hear it. Are there any new product updates, company updates, things our listeners should be aware of?
Yeah, for sure. So the big thing that we're excited about is bringing our stronger, safer, greener disinfecting wipes to home gyms and small studios that previously wouldn't go through 5,000 wipes at a time. So didn't really have a need for a big dispenser. So we're actually producing a second version of our wipes, same formula, but in a small canister that's a perfect size for someone with a Peloton at home, with some dumbbells at home, or a small studio that might not want jumbo rolls of disinfecting wipes.
I love that. That is a great update. So smaller, a little easier for home and the boutique space. That's great. All right. Now, you and I have had some very intriguing conversations about this, but I want to open the floor to you to be able to speak to what is hidden in those labels, not yours, of course, other wipes out there. What is in these labels that members and owners need to be very mindful of?
Yeah, it's actually pretty crazy because we're so used to just grabbing a wipe out of a dispenser and not thinking twice about it. But if you look carefully at a lot of the product labels out there, like you said, not ours, but some other ones, they recommend using PPE to literally use the wipe. So for example, they recommend putting on gloves and goggles before grabbing a wipe, which is obviously
which no one is doing.
No one would do that, but kind of gives you an idea of the types of chemicals that are in these wipes. And hopefully we're bringing a little bit more awareness, especially in our industry where people go to your gym to get healthier, for kind of like a health and wellness lifestyle. It's not necessarily the chemical you would want in that circumstance.
That's such a good point. I just speaking from experience, you grab the wipe, you sit right on it. Maybe put your head or your arm on it too. So
yeah, I cringe when I cringe.
Any updates on dwell time, or can you just maybe summarize that initial conversation from last time? I think it's important.
For sure, yeah. So dwell time's a very technical and regulated thing. Our wipes are currently 5-minute dwell time, and that's actually going to come down hopefully soon A lot of the other ones out there are 10. But just one thing to keep in mind when you're kind of comparing dwell times is make sure you're comparing strain by strain. Because if you just look at dwell time, you're not necessarily comparing apples to apples because it's based on the strains that you claim to kill. So if you are looking at a wipe that's only claiming to kill the easiest strains, they're probably going to have a lower dwell time, but you're also dealing with a less effective wipe. So you do have to dig into the weeds when you look at dwell time, but yeah, we just from pure dwell time, we are usually quicker than a lot of the other wipes out there.
I love that. You're going to have to let us know when your dwell time is decreased. I feel like
stay tuned.
Big announcement.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you for diving into that one for us. And just, you know, if someone is not familiar with the term dwell time, that is, you wipe it down and you are supposed to leave the equipment for that set amount of time for it to truly do its job.
To get to 99.9% disinfection. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, Stephen, this is the big question today from all our guests. This is the theme of this episode. What is one recommendation that you would make to any health club owner or operator now about what to focus on in their business or reevaluate in their business in order to win in 2021 and beyond?
Sure. So obviously clubs are spending more money on cleaning products right now. And I mean, cash flows are tough. It's not an easy pill to swallow. We've been really encouraging gyms to look at it as a marketing asset for them, essentially, especially people that are using our wipes. So something we're doing for our customers is providing all of them with very high-end stickers to put on all their dispensers to let their new members, prospective members, current members know that, hey, we're going above and beyond to provide the strongest, safest, greenest disinfecting wipes for you. Because up until this point, they're just hiding behind a dispenser. So if you're going to be using the best wipe, we're trying to help our customers portray that so they can kind of leverage that as a marketing asset for themselves and not just another line item expense.
I think that's so important. And, you know, even if it's not something you all are providing, do you have any customers you're working with? Like, what can owners do to be creative and educate members on dwell time? Like, that's something that it's very scientific. You know, no one's really following that, like from the member to member, right? Like when you go through and you truly disinfect your club at night, in the morning, yes. But what can clubs do to be like, this is a healthy wipe? You know, yes, we have the sticker. What can they do to educate more?
It's something that they have to work closely with their marketing department, I would encourage, because usually cleaning products are more of a product associated with the operation side of the company. And depending on, it's a gym by gym basis, how much overlap there is between those teams. But I'd say bringing the teams together and kind of brainstorming what marketing avenues are you currently using. Are you very active on social? Maybe send a tweet out or a Facebook post out. Do you have a robust email marketing system? Probably you should leverage that. We've also seen a lot of clubs put up nice posters on what they recommend members to do, not just the cleaning, but 6 feet apart, stuff like that. Stay home if you don't feel well. Kind of just including the basic cleaning procedures within all that can make a world of difference. And it sends the right message to your current members and new members that, hey, we take this seriously because we care about your health. Not just your fitness when you're here, but overall health. So it's just a win. It's just a good operating procedure, in our opinion.
Yeah. Or if you see a member standing by a piece of equipment waiting for it to dry, that's why. Don't just sneak in there.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much, Stephen. We're so appreciative of all you do for the FBP family. And if you are listening today and intrigued, like I know so many of you will be, and you want to hear more of Stephen's insights and the wisdom shared by VaporFresh, you can listen to Fitness Business Podcast, episode 354, The Value Proposition for Reimagining Industry Partnerships. Thank you so much, Stephen. I am thrilled to welcome our next guest back to The Value Proposition, the one and only Blair McCaney, CEO of MXMetrics. Blair, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Good to see you, Sarah.
You too. All right. So you joined us for the April 2021 show of The Value Prop. So it hasn't been too long since we last spoke, but tell us what is new with MXMetrics.
Well, the big thing is how we are really gathering touch points. So understanding the purchase experience, understanding the onboarding experience, understanding the ongoing experience, and then also understanding the cancellation experience. And the data integrations we have written with so many of the member management software companies to enable that. And so what we are rolling out is called MXM Plus. We are also rolling out our ENPS in a big way, so understanding employee experience, and that helps companies understand how that correlates with customer experience. One of the things we're discovering in a lot of our metrics is there are metrics that are sort of like immediate ROI type metrics. For example, a fitness results metric is immediate ROI, but we're discovering others along these points that are, I can respond to that customer right now, and there's ROI in this, and there's incredible relationship building in this one response, and then there's ROI at different levels. So, yeah, we're really excited about rolling out MXM Plus.
That's awesome. Is there time guesstimates as to when that will be available?
Well, yes, there is. It'll be IHRSA. We're going to roll it out at IHRSA.
So fun.
Yeah, and we'll already have some key customers that have beta tested, and yeah, so we're excited about it. Yeah.
Awesome. On the show in April, your insight was just one of my favorites, hands down, because we were discussing the metrics and data that owners should be paying attention to. And you brought up that no matter how clean an owner thinks their club is, what matters is if members see other members cleaning in order to perceive that as a safe environment, right? And I just thought that was so helpful and valuable to the owners and operators listening in. So are there any other key metrics that you've seen in the past few months that owners should be keeping an eye on?
Well, and by the way, the cleanliness thing is just getting more and more heightened. I mean, it is. It's just getting more and more heightened. So that is absolutely critical to keep an eye on. Crowdedness is growing in concern for members. And what happened is I think members experienced their clubs being less crowded as a safety measure, but they discovered that it's a really good experience if I'm not overly packed.
Yeah.
And so I think that is going to be very critical to watch, and especially as you get more and more people coming back in. I said very early on in this pandemic that I think there's really opportunity to increase prices as people put their own premium on having space.
Sure.
And that's one of the reasons I think that's really important to watch, is because it's going to have a lot to do with maybe how your business model fleshes out. But the key drivers are going to be like they were pre-pandemic: cleanliness, friendliness, equipment condition, and then there's some drill downs below that are going to be incredibly important. So it's you just have to be watching your member experience constantly.
Absolutely. So we're not taking the foot off the gas when it comes to cleanliness.
Exactly.
And the space, what I think is so interesting about the space is now that the mask mandates are coming off too. It's like, it's all fun and games when we all have masks on, but then you walk around and you're like, oh, he's too close to me because I don't have that security blanket, right? Great insight, Blair. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What is one recommendation that you would make to any health club owner or operator now about what to focus on in their business or reevaluate in their business in order to win in 2021 and beyond?
Okay, now it's super easy for me to say member experience, and that's never going to go away. But I'll tell you what we're seeing with some customers and what we've done. Greatly simplifying the membership sale.
Yep.
It's just not a value add experience for the customer coming in. Trying to make it feel more like you do when you subscribe to Hulu or something, or stop your subscriptions from Hulu. I think the companies that do that are going to get out ahead. We're seeing that with some of our customers. We're doing that in our own clubs now. I think that's one thing, and that triggers something else: the ability to probably not have salespeople. Now, I grant you, when you have clubs that look like the East Bank Club or Newtown, or that, it's a lot easier for me to say this than to execute it in an environment like that. But there's something between the complete simplification and the old processes of how we did sales that should be looked at for every single club. It does a couple of things. It's a much better experience for the member, for the potential member, for the member, greatly reduces overhead. Mm-hmm. And I think figuring out how to get labor costs down is going to be the primary ground for innovating our business models. And how do you do that? Where can you get the labor costs down in those areas where technology can take over so that your people can actually do the job that you want them to do? And that's the human to human contact and helping people and building relationships. That for me is like the biggest focus right now.
Wow. That is a great point. Thank you so much, Blair, for your support of the value proposition and the fitness business podcast family as a whole. We so appreciate you being an advertising partner with us. And if you're anything like me, I'm like, okay, Blair, I want more time with you. So if you want to know what else was in April's show that Blair shared with our audience, you can go back and download Fitness Business Podcast episode 354, The Value Proposition for Reimagining Industry Partnerships. Blair, thank you, sir. I am giving a warm welcome to Mario Tarquinio, Customer Experience Director for Les Mills. Mario, welcome back to The Value Proposition.
Thanks for having me back, Sarah.
Of course. Now, we last spoke in May 2021, so not too long ago. However, are there any new product launches or releases from Les Mills that our listeners should be looking out for?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're always taking the stance of looking to continue to evolve and reinvent ourselves and provide value to our club partners and instructors. So we actually do have a new solution that we'll be looking to roll out here over the next 12 months. It's called Les Mills Connect. And really what it's going to be is it's going to be a digital ecosystem where our club partners and instructors can access all things Les Mills related. Really for this, it's going to be something that creates a unified experience and allows club partners to connect with our Les Mills certified instructors and really create a really seamless opportunity for them to both really upskill themselves as instructors and be able to obviously have the bench strength of rockstar instructors to facilitate their live experiences in their facilities.
I love that. Is there a timeline guesstimate on that, Mario? I know releases, it's not always on time, but what can we expect from a time frame there?
Yeah, well, like I mentioned, we're going to do this as a phased rollout over the next 12 months. I think we're looking to projected beginning the launch here in Q4 in the US market. So I would say later this fall, starting to see some more information around Les Mills Connect to club partners and instructors.
That is so exciting. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Now, on our original show, the focus was engaging with members through live events. So are we still seeing a push to plan fun live events with your client partners, or has it kind of tapered off and, returned a little bit back to business as usual?
Yeah, I would actually say it's heated up. It's been something I think that we've thankfully seen, I'd say across the US, right? A return to live experiences, human connections, outside of fitness even. You see that with sporting events, concerts coming back. So yeah, absolutely. I think it's been a really refreshing experience to get back to those type of conversations and supporting really energetic and exciting live experiences that really are transformational for both clubs and their members. So yes, we've continued to see that and support those offers through marketing, obviously education, and then obviously enhancing that experience of the attendees.
I love to hear it. That's fantastic. Thank you. So last but not least, what is one recommendation that you would make to any health club owner or operator now about what to focus on in their business or reevaluate in their business in order to win in 2021 and beyond?
Yeah, a great question. I'm sure you can get a lot of really broad answers with that.
Anything does not have to be Les Mills related. It can be anything.
I think I'll try to keep it singularly focused, really for clubs and brands, and something they can look at is, for them is, what's their mission? What are their core values? And really, how can they display those at the greatest level every single day. So I think, it always boils down to me, the 3 Ps, which I'm sure you've heard of before, right? It's people. They're your number one asset. So what are you doing to, always recruit that next rock star team member, provide education and upskilling. I think we've seen that's very huge for, creating that experience back to your members, taking care of your people and upskilling them. Process, right? And I think when I say process, we've seen an explosion of digital, but I'd really just say technology as a whole. How are you as a club operator evolving your facility and leveraging technology that actually enhances customer experience and really level of engagement of your members to your brand? I think that's really going to be an important piece. And the last is programming, right? What type of solutions are you providing to your members to help them and assist them along their fitness journey to meet the goals that they want and deserve to reach?
I think you knocked it out of the park on that one. That's fantastic. And I love the mention of building your team and always recruiting. We're seeing that, right? People are getting back to work. You may have lost some of your workforce. So hiring and training will definitely be top of mind in the next year. So thank you for bringing attention to that. I appreciate it. So you've heard it here first, FBP family. Live events are still hot. They're still going on. So if you are wanting to plan an engaging live event for your members or wanting to learn more about Les Mills in general, download Fitness Business Podcast episode 361, the value proposition for engaging with members through live events with Les Mills. I am honored to introduce Jay Ablandi, IHRSA Executive Vice President of Global Products and my former boss at IHRSA, to the value proposition. Jay, it is so great to have you here.
It's great to be here, Sarah, and it's always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you so much. Now, we spoke with your team last month, so it has not been too long at all, but you guys have been busy in just 1 month. There's a lot of news coming from IHRSA. So, Jay, tell us a little bit about the new IHRSA CEO.
Sure. We're very excited to welcome Liz Clark, who is coming from us from the National Confectionaries Association. Liz has led the advocacy for the NCA since 2011, and it's really the Candy Association, Big Candy, they like to call it. So she was serving as their voice on Capitol Hill and state capitals across the country. Among her notable accomplishments, Liz successfully lobbied the administration to have confectionery manufacturing deemed essential during the pandemic. And we know how hard it was to get anything essential during this past year. So prior to the NCA, she was an executive director of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. So Liz, she hasn't started yet, so we need to give her a little time, but the end of this month she's coming to Boston to meet with the IHRSA staff, and then she really will take the reins August 16th and hit the ground running. So we're really excited. We've had a few Zoom meetings with her, but we'll meet her in person at the end of the month. So we're very excited, and the industry is lucky to have her, and she's bringing a wealth of expertise, and especially around the advocacy level. Our efforts are particularly timely because we're currently lobbying for the GYMS Act, which will provide immediate relief for the industry. And that's something that we hope to get through Congress the next time they pass a bill this fall.
Wow, she sounds like such a wonderful fit, and her values and experience will definitely align with the needs of IHRSA going forward. So that's so wonderful to hear. Thank you. Now, Jay, on the original episode with IHRSA, Luke was kind enough to give us an overview of what we can expect from this year's trade show. So remind our listeners first when and where IHRSA 2021 will be.
Sure. October 13th to 15th, which is a Wednesday to Friday in Dallas, Texas, the Lone Star State. And as you know, Dallas is very easy to get to, and it's a great, vibrant city to have a convention. So we're very excited. And this year, we've also added a pre-conference day on October 12th with MedFit. So for anyone interested in the medical fitness tie-in with healthcare and health clubs, they can come in early on Tuesday and take care of a host of great sessions around programming around the medical wellness. And just so, IHRSA is obviously well known for our world-class keynotes, and this year is no exception. We have Diana Kander is leading off on Wednesday. She's a best-selling author, entrepreneur. She's going to be talking about competing on value instead of price. And then we're very excited to, because we're in Texas, we were able to land. And we also have a great member in the Cooper Institute, but we have Dr. Kenneth Cooper, who is many consider, he is the father of aerobics. And, he's just a legend in our industry, and he'll be presenting on preventative medicine. It's more beneficial and cost effective to prevent disease than to find a cure, which, it's kind of preaching to a choir for our industry, but to hear it from Dr. Cooper in person, everyone's really excited about that. And then you may remember we were going to have Scott Stratton, a best-selling author, speak at IHRSA 2020 in San Diego last year. So we carried him over to this year. He's going to speak on the age of disruption. Everything has changed and nothing is different. To me, he was my favorite that was going to be at the show a year ago. So we were very happy we were able to work with his schedule and get him to come to Dallas.
Wow. All right. So you have world-class speakers, vendors coming back, exhibitors, people registering, pre-conferences. That's a lot. It's a lot to look forward to. So thank you so much to the IHRSA team for the hard work that you all are putting into this conference. And I know we all cannot wait to be there and celebrate together. So that's awesome. Great updates, Jay. Thank you so much. Now, globally speaking, what trends are you seeing coming down the chute that our owners and operators listening in today should be keeping an eye on?
One thing IHRSA has been working on this last year, I know Brent Darden spoke to you about this a little bit, is a rallying cry for the industry. IHRSA kind of assembled some of the best marketing minds in the industry, outside the industry, and we worked with a leading firm, Clearview Insights, to really to help the industry say, what's the rallying cry? There was a Gut Milk, there was Save Our Stages on, for Broadway. And so for us, for our members in the industry, we want the public, no matter where they are, to reconnect with their well-being. And one of the things, we know that society likes instant gratification, and clubs have always said, well, work out now and you'll feel better. You'll have longer life. You'll feel better down the road. The industry really needs to do is say, work out, take care of yourself now, and you'll feel better now. And your mental and physical health, which we know took a toll over this last year, the best way to take care of yourself is to incorporate fitness into your life. And it can be 10 minutes a day of just walking or stretching or just taking time for yourself. And clubs are the perfect venue to help with that. And they have the expertise to help the world really recover from what was really a very tough year for so many.
Could not agree more. That is so, so great. And it's a great point too. So Jay, with all of that being said, what is one recommendation that you would make to any health club owner or operator right now to focus on in their business or reevaluate in their business in order to win in 2021 and beyond?
Well, Sarah, I'm going to give you two because I like you so much, you deserve two. Perfect. So the first, if they haven't yet, they need to join IHRSA, because IHRSA is, we are a global trade association. We have a wealth of resources to help their business succeed. And this year, we actually launched a new tiered membership structure for clubs, studios, and even fitness professionals. So it's as little as $30 a month for a club, or $25 for a studio, or $20 for an individual. I'm unbiased because I work at IHRSA and I have for a long time, but I think an IHRSA membership is the best value in the industry. The amount of resources we have that can help clubs be more profitable is endless. You can go to IHRSA.org to get a taste, or you can just call IHRSA. We'll walk you through it. So that's the first thing anybody who wants to have a stronger business in the industry should do, is to join IHRSA. Second, you got to get yourself to Dallas in October. There's no substitute for the IHRSA experience. We've all experienced it. The world-class speakers, the business insights, tons of networking opportunities. Quite frankly, the vibrant energy you feel when the global industry comes together is unparalleled. And this October, it's going to be a party you won't want to miss, and it's going to be an event that you just have to be at. So we really want to see you there. And obviously, if you can't travel, we will have a virtual component that'll also be very good, because we know a lot of people won't be able to make it because of restrictions, but there's nothing like being somewhere in person, and we really want to see you there.
No substitute for the IHRSA experience. I think you just hit it on the head, Jay. That's it.
Exactly. Thank you, Sarah.
That's so great. Well, awesome recommendations, wonderful insights. Jay, thank you so much for joining us today. And to our FBP family out there, if you have not heard the June value proposition episode with IHRSA, you need to, because we unpack what Jay explained and much, much more. We talk all things membership, research, and trade show details. So download Fitness Business Podcast episode 368. the value proposition for the Global Health and Fitness Association. Well, FBP family, that concludes our 1-year anniversary episode of the value proposition. Thank you again to all our guests for your insight shared on today's episode on how to win in 2021 and beyond. To the FBP family, thank you all for tuning in monthly to hear the value proposition. I am so excited for the value we will continue to share in the coming year. Tune in Friday, August 20th for our next episode of the value proposition. And to show we walk the talk at the Fitness Business Podcast, all the resources and links for today's show can be found at fitnessbusinesspodcast.com, adding value to our FBP family. Until next month, what you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others.